Well, Donkey Kong Bananza releases this week, and that means next week is a great time for a Nintendo Direct. Today I'm going to dive into what to expect related to release dates for origin-owned games, plus also what new announcements are Nintendo going to come up with for the Switch 2. If you like the video, then subscribe for more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct, and let me know in the comments what you want to see from the next Nintendo Direct. Well, it's been a while since the last general Nintendo Direct. It was all the way back in April, where we had a deep dive into the Nintendo Switch 2, when Nintendo revealed a whole bunch of information about their new console and the release lineup. We did have a Donkey Kong Bananza Direct, and now that game is about to be released this week. You know, in a normal year, Nintendo would put out a Direct in June. However, this year, it's an anomaly with the Nintendo Switch 2 release. Well, yesterday, speculation started rising once again about a new Nintendo Direct set after the release of Donkey Kong Bananza. So here's Jordan Middler from VGC, and Jordan says Nintendo are going to hold a Nintendo Direct presentation later this month, it's claimed. According to Nate the Hate, who's got a track record of reporting on Nintendo Direct plans before they are announced, Nintendo's next show is planned for later this month following the release of Donkey Kong Bananza. And here's a quote from Nate the Hate. He says, "I've been told there's a Nintendo Direct this month, the month of July, but that the Nintendo Direct is not going to take place until after Donkey Kong Bananza releases. Beyond that, there's no additional information." Well, I definitely think that makes a whole lot of sense, so let's get into the predictions. And first of all, we're going to tackle first-party titles. So we know about some of the first-party titles coming to Nintendo Switch 2 in 2025. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was playable at the Switch 2 events all around the world. And also recently there was a mix-up on the London Underground with an advertisement stating the game was out now, when actually it's slated for sometime in 2025. You know, given it was playable at the events, I can't imagine it is too far away. We've got Donkey Kong Bananza this month in July, and then Pokemon Legends ZA in October. Therefore, I would imagine Metroid Prime 4 is either going to release in September or November in 2025. Kirby Air Riders is another first-party title that's got that loose 2025 release date, and I think it's the same story really. Either it's going to be a September or November release. We also may get something for Mario Kart World, perhaps something additional for the open world or free roam, or maybe even some event or small DLC. I don't know about you, but the discussion about Mario Kart World has died down completely. The game just kind of came and went, which is a shame. Definitely big boots to fill when it came to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and so far I think Mario Kart World has been pretty underwhelming. Then we've got a prospect of another first-party Nintendo game coming out this year. I don't think we're going to be getting anything Mario related. One, because the movie is coming out next year, and I think that would be the perfect time to release the game at the same time. And two, the team is just wrapping up on Donkey Kong Bananza. There is a possibility that the Mario Odyssey team is split in two, with one half working on Donkey Kong Bananza and the other half working on a new 3D Mario, but I don't expect to see Mario news until 2026, around the same time as the movie. I do think there is a prospect of Animal Crossing news, so it's been 5 years since the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons, so we're definitely due for a new Animal Crossing game. New Horizons took the world by storm in part due to the global pandemic. I do think Nintendo's going to want to be prioritising getting a new Animal Crossing game out as soon as they can to recapture their audience once again. Fire Emblem is also another prospect for the Nintendo Switch 2. So Jeff Grubb from Giant Bomb has long reported on a Fire Emblem game being pretty much ready to go. And I think it's a decent bet given the last Fire Emblem was released in 2019. And if a Nintendo Direct is going to be next week, then it's going to be nearly 6 years to the day since Three Houses released. Also, Splatoon Raiders is another first-party title I would love to get more information about. Well, next up we've got Switch 2 editions, so we could get some more Switch 2 editions, following on from the Switch Zelda games Mario Party and also Kirby. So at the next Direct we could get more info about Kirby and the Forgotten Land on the Switch 2, Given it's releasing in August in 2025, but I would like to see something new that I don't yet know about. Perhaps we get a Switch 2 edition for Mario Maker 2, with mouse controls. I feel like that series could do with a real injection of newness, and the mouse controls feel perfect for that game. And maybe we could even throw in another 2D Mario style in there. That would be absolutely perfect. Nintendo Switch Sports as well would be a good candidate for a Switch 2 edition. We have had a few paid upgrades plus loads of free updates to Switch games already. But let me know in the comments if you want to see more Nintendo games get the Switch 2 edition treatment. Well, then we got third-party titles, so we actually know quite a lot about the third-party titles coming to Switch 2. We've got Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, that's going to be absolutely massive on Switch 2. Hades 2 is another one that we know about, which has long been in early access. Hollow Knight Silksong as well is another game we know about, but this one seems tied to the release of the Xbox ROG Ally X. That's the new handheld coming out in the latter half of the year. Other third-party games I'm really excited about include Marvel Cosmic Invasion, and also Witchbrook as well. They look really, really good, and can't wait to get updates and release dates on those games. Well, next up we've got Nintendo Switch Online, so it'd be really great to get an update for more GameCube games coming to Nintendo Switch Online. So far, I've been really enjoying the games that we got on there, including F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, Wind Waker, and also Mario Strikers. I've also been putting a lot of time into Nintendo Switch Online recently, and I would love to see more GameCube games. I did do a dedicated video on what I want to see come to the GameCube via Nintendo Switch Online, so make sure to go and check that one out. I would also love to see more consoles added to Nintendo Switch Online, but I do think it is a little bit early for that. Nintendo DS is up next, if we're following the timeline, but I don't think Nintendo has built out their GameCube library just enough yet. Well, finally, we've got the prospects of new announcements. So Nintendo did a big playtest for an unannounced MMO before the Switch 2 came out. Plenty of people have played it and seen it, although they're not allowed to talk about it. I really want to hear from Nintendo on what this MMO is and when we can get our hands on it. As I mentioned before, I think the most likely new announcement is probably an Animal Crossing game. I think it's a little bit early for a new 3D Mario. I do think they're going to do a tie-in with that with the movie in 2026. So in terms of new game announcements, I think it's going to be this MMO that Nintendo did the playtest on, or maybe even a new Animal Crossing game. Well, I do think the smart money is on next Wednesday. That is Wednesday the 23rd of July 2025. I could be wrong, of course, but we do need more information from Nintendo so they can start building out their roadmap of games for the second half of 2025. Well, the Nintendo Switch 2 has released, but it does feel a little bit empty. That may change when Donkey Kong Bananza comes out later this week, but I've mainly been playing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions, plus also loads of Nintendo Switch Online. Well, let me know in the comments what you want to see in an upcoming Nintendo Direct. I would love to hear from you and love to hear your ideas and also what you want to see. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Nintendo content here on Power Up Direct. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.